So if you turn the page to the activity, the title I've called it Cultural Relativity. So we're used to everything being relative. Now I want us to think about the fact that we live in a culture, and just because our culture is our culture to us, we easily forget it. Yeah? Ask a fish what water is, they won't have a clue, because it's the only thing they've ever known. So I want you to think about this phrase, it goes without being said. Because when we read things, we automatically come to a conclusion, and maybe all the people around us in our own little group, which can become a bit of an echo chamber because we're all thinking the same way, is something that goes without being said because it's part of our culture. Now, first time I had an obvious encounter where I realised that cultures can be different. I was walking down the street in Ghana, and a gentleman who I'd befriended decided to hold my hand as I walked down the street. Now, that made me feel a little bit awkward, because in England, generally, if I'm going down the street with a friend, I don't hold his hand. In fact, the only people I generally hold hands with are my wife and my kids. So, I wanted an explanation. And later got that explanation is if someone considers you their friend, then male relationships will hold hands. Naturally and as commonly as we might hold the hand of our girlfriend. And yet I also discovered that if you're going out with someone or married to someone, that a show of public affection, like holding hands, is not commonplace. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of almost the opposite of how we would hold hands in this culture. Now there's millions of examples like that, but we've got to come at cultural things in that kind of way. And some of those things are that 2,000 years ago or longer, in a country far, far away, we need to understand that. So probably the best thing we could ever do is to go and live in that culture, but that might not be open to you. So therefore, reading a good book about it will help. So what I would like you to do as a little exercise, I want you to look at 3 passages from Timothy. So just to clear up a little bit of the context, the background, Paul is writing to Timothy. So this is a letter, not to a group of Christians, but it's a letter to a specific Christian, Timothy, who is someone he's been discipling very hard, someone who's been with him a long time and working with him. And he gives him some instructions. Now there are 3 verses, 3 instructions. Without looking further down the sheet, so just looking at those 3 scriptures, I want you to work with the person sat next to you and decide, what does Jesus say to me? What is Jesus saying to me as my response to those verses? Is this specifically something I need to do something about? Is it a general instruction or something else?